This week we could read in the newspapers that Mr. McCain made clear to the new president, or the president-elect, Mr. Trump, what he wanted the president to do as far as foreign politics is concerned. For example, not recognizing Crimea as part of Russia, not accepting the aggression against Ukraine and against the Syrian people. And I completely agree with him. And this inspired me to write on the Facebook site of Mr. McCain how I think about him. And well, I admire him a lot. And why I admire him. And this is what I've written. For me, Mr. McCain is an exceptional leader. In Vietnam, he was severely tortured by the Vietcong. Despite this, he refused to betray his captured Navy colleagues and preferred them to be released instead of himself, even though he knew it would mean further torture for him. As a politician, he regularly opposed the leadership of his Republican Party, following his conscience. As he ran for president, he publicly criticized a supporter who told nasty lies about Mr. Obama. This man is everything Mr. Trump isn't. Mr. Trump daring to even stand in the shadow of this man is a pure offence. I admire Mr. McCain because he is what a real leader has to be. Sincere, autonomous, brave, truly democratic, and standing up for principles. Again, he's everything Trump isn't. But much worse, he's everything most our weak Western leaders aren't. Social-economically, Mr. McCain and I are probably light years apart. But as far as international politics and our ideas about leadership are concerned, there is little light between us. As far as foreign politics is concerned, Mr. McCain would have been the better president compared to Mr. Obama. When it threatened to get too hot under the feet of Mr. Obama, he shied away and stayed passive. Mr. McCain would only have started there. Mr. Putin would not have intimidated him. Syria would certainly not be the mess it is today, and Europe would now be close to 2% defense spending, therefore being less intimidated and more self-confident towards Russia. He would have sent more US troops to Europe, and Ukraine would have gotten the weapons it needs to defend itself. Weapons that every free nation on this planet should have given to Ukraine. Freedom would not have been in retreat, but would still have been marching forward. This is the difference between strength and weakness, between visionary leadership based on values and situational leadership based on the least painful way out. I hope the West soon gets Mr. McCain-style, moderate, democratic, pro-EU leaders who replace the present weak, talentless generation of today. They have done enough harm. It's time to get our act together and defend and repair our beloved European continent. I think it's clear that I wrote this from the perspective of a European, which is not strange because I'm Dutch. But I share basically all the values Mr. McCain shares as well. And I'm sure that many people in America and Europe share. We should stand for them together. We should not give in to a cynical foreign policy where you try to get calm and easy stability over the bodies of innocent people, or over at the expense of countries under attack like Ukraine. I'm sure Mr. McCain would never give in to that cynicism, and I hope our leaders also won't.